This hearing will come to order. I want to welcome everyone to this morning's hearing on welfare and poverty in America. All of us have an interest in trying to find more ways to effectively and efficiently alleviate poverty in America. Today's hearing will attempt to provide some clarity around issues of poverty, the effect it has on children and families in the United States, and the role that the federal programs, particularly the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program, currently play in mitigating poverty. Finally, we will hear from Jon Pierpont, Executive Director at Utah's Department of Workforce Services since December 2012. Mr. Pierpont oversees a $1.5 billion budget and a department tasked with administering federal and state programs, including workforce development, eligibility services, public assistance programs, and unemployment insurance. Mr. Pierpont has over 20 years of experience with workforce services, serving previously as the Deputy Director, Eligibility Services Division Director, and leading the department's largest service area. Under Mr. Pierpont's direction, the department has saved over $33 million. He is a graduate of the University of Utah and a dedicated public servant.
Chairman Hatch, Senator Wyden, and members of the Senate Committee on Finance, thank you for the opportunity to address you. We have come to learn that even in Utah, where our economy is incredibly strong, there are thousands of families still facing barriers to self-reliance and lost in poverty. Utah's economic success is allowing us to focus on families struggling to break free from the cycle of poverty passed from one generation to the next. We refer to this cycle as intergenerational poverty. I would like to briefly provide one example of program alignment. That is our two-generation test program called Next Generation Kids. As a part of our research, we evaluated our TANF Cash Assistance Program, which focuses exclusively on employment of the parent. However, we have found that adults often cannot truly be successful when the needs of their children are not being met. As a result, we modified our program so that while we are engaging the parents to get them employed, we are also ensuring that those parents are meeting the basic needs of their children. Although Next Generation Kids has only been in existence for 1 year, it is improving the lives of families like Melodays, who is also a program participant. Utah is committed to this effort. We are taking the research into local communities across our state and empowering local leaders to take the first steps. The research clearly shows the impact of this unique form of poverty, which is why we need a unique approach to understand it and address it. Utah believes strongly in the potential of individuals like Meloday. She is one of those brilliant minds lost in poverty. We cannot afford to ignore those brilliant minds. We must empower these families to succeed and equip their children to escape poverty, which in turn will allow our economy to flourish. We will continue to learn and apply new information to our methods, and we will hope to share our success and failures with other states working to empower families to achieve their greatest potential. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all four of you and your testimony here today. It's very helpful to us. And let me start with you, Director Pierpont. I want to thank you for being here today, and all of you, and for all the good work you're doing out there in Utah. I listened with great interest to your description of what it took to get this intergenerational poverty initiative underway. And I would note that this effort began as a partnership between a liberal child advocate, Karen Crompton, and a conservative state senator, Stuart Reed. I think we can all take a lesson from this bipartisan alliance. I was particularly interested in the Next Generation Kids program. What are your plans with the Next Generation Kids program moving forward, and what are you learning from this test program, and are you planning on expanding it?
Thank you, Senator Hatch. We started our Next Generation Kids project in an area of our state called Ogden, Utah. We targeted Ogden because they had a higher concentration of intergenerational poverty families in that area. We started with 32 families, tried to design the program to mirror what we've learned with the data research. And we've been working in this particular area for almost a year now. So we're summarizing what has been working and not working in regards to the initial year's period. Our plan is to continue to learn from the data, learn from the strategies that are in place with those families. We've expanded. It's a unique approach because we have our staff actually in James Madison Elementary in Ogden. Okay? It gives us an opportunity to interact with the parents more frequently and the kids to ensure that the kids are doing well in school, that the basic needs are being met. And so we're right there in the school, which I think we've learned a lot just by being amongst the kids there. We're about to expand to an area in Salt Lake City called Kearns. And this particular extension of Next Generation Kids will focus on middle school kids. So we're trying to learn from the elementary school kids and now the middle school age kids as we continue to work towards effective ways of serving the families. One more area that we're about to move to in January is an area called Glendale in Utah. And we'll be actually in a Head Start facility there to engage that program and how best to serve those families in that setting. So we're learning a lot. We've seen some successes and we've seen some failures. We've seen some people drop out of the program, some mothers. We've seen many get employed. We're seeing some stability with the children. So we'll continue to learn, and that's the idea, is using the data, learn from the experiences of our interaction with really multiple partners. This is not a government thing only. It includes the schools. It includes community partners. There's a real collaboration going on in Ogden and in those other two schools that I think will help us determine what are the best approaches so that we can succeed for the children and help support the adults.
Well, thank you.